Dorkula here. I just woke up, so I just felt like I had to make this video. So, excuse the. Well, I always have poor quality in my stuff, anyways. I don't know why I'm. Oh. Well, felt compelled to do this because the last videos I posted were of my ex. And I did not monetize any of those, and I will be taking them down. So by the time this video comes out, don't even bother looking for them. They'll be gone. But there's a reason why I did that. Because the way you control a narcissist is when a narcissist has you and they think it's just you and them, they believe that. But when you make a narcissist aware that this world is full of eyes, they shrink. And have you ever noticed the narcissist maybe really digging into somebody and really going at it, about to beat the hell out of this person, and they notice somebody's watching them, and then that stops. They still try to prove they're in the right, but they shrink. I don't want violence. And then there was escalation. So that's the reason why I posted that. Now, the old me would have done it to try to get people on my side or whatever and try to gather and whatever, but I don't need that. I live in the moment, time to time, because this is the only thing that's real. This is it. There's no past, there's no future. This is it. What you're experiencing right now is the only reality you have. That's the only reality. So my plan was to keep the violence out, because I'm not down with that. I'm not down with having things thrown at me. I'm not down with being pushed. I'm not down with all of that. And it's going to sound weird that I'm going to say this, but it is her fault she's acted like that, but it's also not her fault. You see, when you become awakened, you start to realize things. You see the entire, not start to, all of a sudden, you see the entire program. You see the entire scaffolding. You understand you exist on, there's different levels of existence, and you're on all of them. And you change. You no longer have a desire to chase things. You don't want to go after all this materialistic crap that everybody else is after. It has no meaning to you anymore. But one thing that you do learn is that those thoughts that are going through your head aren't yours. If you ask yourself, who thought that? That's all you have to do. Where did that thought come from? And then you realize you're just an observer observing your thoughts. And I like to ask a question. Then who observes the observer? That's who observes the observer. Yeah. Nobody. You're infinite. Okay. Once you have that knowledge, there's nothing the negative archons can do anything to you, or demons or whatever. And that's why I say it's her fault, but it's not her fault at the same time. My fault and not my fault at the same time. Both are true. Her truths are true and my truths are true, because they're what you remember. Your past is just electrical signals in your head. but it's your truth. And one thing that you realize is that all of these past that you have, all these traumatic events that you've had, you're being controlled by. That's how me and my ex actually bonded, because we basically trauma bonded. It was our trauma that we had that was very similar. We went through very similar events. And it was basically, you got to understand the concept of archons and shadow self and what Carl Jung was talking about to get what I'm trying to say. But if it makes sense to you, then yeah, keep going with this. But you start to believe that, well, you let those thoughts control you. And you let those emotions control you that come with those thoughts. And then you make that your reality. You relive it over and over and over again. You get stuck in a loop. And basically, I broke that cycle. I no longer see things the way they were. I no longer have those traumatic events play in my head and affect me, period. It's just like a movie. It's like watching a movie in your head. It's the same experience. And so I become a mirror. I didn't mean to, but I became a mirror to her. This is my belief. Whether it's true or not, this is what I believe at this moment. And who is this I? Well, but it is what I believe at this moment. When you can't face your past and you're met with somebody who can't face their past, and then all of a sudden they can, and all of a sudden they're healed, and all of a sudden they're awakened. And if you don't have any strength, are you not even trying to wake up, and you're just full of archons and you're just full of this, and then you no longer have control over this other individual, like, because they've awoken, they've broken the cycle. And now the person who is still asleep don't know what to do with you. Nothing is working. So they escalate, they change, they do everything that they know how to do based on their traumatic past. The world's funny. Life, all this is funny. So I realized all the games. That's why I said life is funny, because it's a game. It's just games. So the trap that I was in was do something kind and be kind and try to be more and try to do more. And then this individual, they'll reject you. They'll push you away because they want that validation. They don't realize they don't need validation. They already have it. They're already there. That's what they mean by seeing what's right in front of you. They don't see it. So they need that validation. So they push you away and then try to be like, if you love me or this, that, and the other, I don't want you no more, out of the blue. Just to try to get you to go, please come back to me, please. But that's the trap. That's your insecurities. Once you realize that there is a very, very, very powerful emotion that completely blinds you to all of your actions. There's only one emotion that does that. And that's, well, if you thought it was fear, you're wrong. The one emotion that can completely manipulate you is love. I'm in love. I'll do anything for love. And that's true. People, you will do anything for love, but you won't do anything for fear. Kind of, but they both exist on the same plane. It's kind of interesting. So to have that love and then have it ripped away from you from somebody, they rip it away from you to try to get you to chase them. It's a form of control. Since they were always controlled and they have not faced any of their past, everything that happened to them, they're reliving. You're reliving. We all did it. So then it's come chase me if you really wanted it. Am I really that special? But if you don't feel that you are anything and you feel that you are less than all the time and you always feel that you're down and you have all these negative emotions going on in your head and you're always down on yourself, you're really listening to an outside source that's manipulating you. But if you stay in that frame of mind, now that outside source controls you. You no longer exist. The you that was you is gone. That's why I said when you become awake and you see everything, the first thing you want to do is spread that information, but then you realize you can't. And that's okay. That's the beautiful paradox that we all live in. Because we are all the same. You have the ability to wake up too. Everybody does. But you are no longer controlled by your past. You're no longer controlled by anything, because what you realize is the only thing that matters is what's going on right now. The only thing that's real. If you are watching this video and you're hearing my voice come through your phone and you're seeing this picture and you're doing all of this, this is the only thing that exists. And when you put your phone down, you move on. What you're doing right, the now, is the only thing that is real. Your past trauma, it's memories. You can have multiple people go through the exact same event at the exact same time, like a rock concert or something like that. Every single one of them is going to have a completely different experience because it's individual. We only interpret through our eyes and this body, electrical signals and all that. It's always going to be different for everybody. Well, getting back to what I was talking about. Well, it does kind of go all together. So if you allow your past to control you, you're basically just becoming demon possessed. If archon possession, demon possession, jinn possession, name it whatever you want. Labels don't really matter. Because in the now, there really isn't any labels. So labels don't matter. But they do matter. Like I said, it's a paradox. You don't want to be labeled. So, once you realize that that person is no longer, I mean, that's that you're not talking to an individual. You're basically talking to demons, if that's the way you want to look at it. You're basically talking to archons. You're not talking to this person no more. That person's still there. Because have you ever blown up and done something and then a little bit you regret it, but then you have to defend yourself? Well, that little regret, that little bit of why did I do that? That's really you. But then you're asking why. So who's asking why? Start looking around in your head and asking, where are all these thoughts coming from? You'll realize That basically the way that I can describe it, and this is how I understand it. Your interpretation may be different. Well, it will be different. But diamonds are made under complete pressure. All this pressure comes in and crushes it up, and it becomes, now you have a material that's a diamond. Very, very, very valuable. And you don't know that diamond's there until you dig it up and clean all the dirt off of it. Now you can see it. You see, when somebody is controlled by their past, you're not talking to the diamond. You're talking to the dirt. And the dirt does not deserve your attention. You're above that. The only attention they deserve is the attention you decide to give them. And that's actually everybody. But no, don't talk to the dirt. Talk to the diamond. So how does somebody heal from something like this? How do you? Well, that's the funny thing. You're trying to say I'm healing. And you're chasing that label. My mind is broke. I'm broken. I need to heal. No, that's not true. You are not broken. Your mind doesn't need to heal. You just have to realize you've been living in a cage that was created in your own mind by your own thoughts. And that is why I call her my ex. And that is why she basically broke up with me and wants me to chase her, and the chase is done. It's over. This person is either going to change for the better or be out of my life forever. Because I don't need to be surrounded by dirt. You see what I'm saying? And this goes for a lot of people. This isn't just me. A lot of people can also interpret it because it's your interpretation of everything. But once you realize, once you wake up, you will be rejected by people that loved you. And it's because it's like they still are covered. Archon, they're still being controlled. And then they see you and they think, oh, you think you're better than me, don't you? No, even though you don't. Even though the awakened one doesn't. But that's the trap and that's the trick. There doesn't need to be a competition between you and somebody else. Because we're all the same. So when she's talking to me like that, or if anybody does this with you, talks to you like that and starts treating you like that, they're treating themselves like that. Now, also on the same token, so you talk to them as if you would talk to yourself when you have those intrusive thoughts and those things. You basically get calm. You rationalize and you look what's going on in the now. What do I got to do? Well, you live in the moment. You know, people out here get to see me like this. People out here get to know me. But a lot of people that knew me in my past before I moved out here don't really know me. They know the shadow self. They know my shadow. They don't know me, you know. So I'm not saying nobody's life is perfect, because there's no perfection. Perfection, yeah, there is, and there isn't, because you can't have perfection without imperfection. It's just, because how would you appreciate the perfection if you didn't have imperfection to show you how perfect that was? You see what I'm saying? But where I'm sitting right now is I'm not posting those before to try to manipulate, and do things like that. I have no reason. I have no desire. There's no purpose. I don't need to gather everybody on my side. I don't need to try to do any of that stuff. That's not what I'm trying to do. Some may see it that way, but like I said, experiences are individual. So I'm trying to keep myself out of harm. I'm trying to expose to somebody that they're a narcissist, that there's other eyes on them, and they can no longer throw things at me or hit me, or attempt to, or buck up, or jump around and have a fit and do all this stuff, because the whole world sees it now. You see, that individual torture you're in your mind, and that individual experience when you're going through that, that's individual. That's by itself. It's coming out. It's think of it like demon possession, dude. It's basically like the archons just playing with your emotions, and that's why it's psychology says it's more like having a seizure. And that's why the individual will get really sleepy and pass out, or they'll have insomnia and have worries and things like that. But they'll get so drained of energy because their whole energy source is being sucked out of them, because they're constantly, just being controlled by it. You can look at it that way. You can look at it any way you wish, but the truth always makes sense, Oh, well, that was a lie and it made sense. Well, no, but the lies get exposed. Truth always prevails. Because truth is true. If it's true, then it cannot be a lie. And if it's a lie, then it cannot be true. So I'm going to be posting more videos. I did get this device, and I did have plans to do all of this. And like you said, like I said, the future doesn't exist. So you can plan, but you never know what's going to happen. So I can't make these videos. I can't move forward in life being tied to somebody who is controlled by their past. Because I'm not in love with them, I'm in love with their demons. You see what I mean? I'm not talking to them, I'm talking to their demons. So, and I don't have any, you lose all respect. You will not be tolerated being treated like that. You realize your self-worth. You realize how to stand up for yourself. And you realize you see your path forward. You actually see multiple paths. You realize it's infinite. And really, when you're trying to strive and trying to go, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You sitting there worrying about, like, oh my God, I don't got that. If you can open up your bank account and see it's like $900 in the negative, and you just go, and move on with your day as if that's not even a thing, that's when you've gotten there. That's a sign. That's a sign you've gotten there. So I just wanted to put this video out. I woke up and just felt like grab your phone and start making a video, dude. Start getting this out there. And I said, yeah, I think I know I'm going to take those other videos down as soon as this one's posted. So like I said, don't even go looking for them. But now that it's known that I have eyes on me, the violence should shrink. But no, but in this portion, and what's happening here, at this point in time, no, I can't be around this individual because they don't exist. You see, I'm talking to worry, doubt, shadow. I'm not talking to her. She doesn't come out. She stays hidden. And you can't be in a relationship like that. Period. It's better to be alone. It really is. And be at peace and be calm. That is above all. If you're living right now, moment to moment, the now is the only thing that exists. Your calm, your peace is the only thing that matters. But yet you're not calm, and yet all this stuff happens, and yeah. Oh, but then you get this bad news. The way I handle bad news now is not to sit there and think the world is on fire and it's ending and my house is burning down and I'm gonna freaking, it's the end, you know. Now I look at it and I go, huh. You know? That bad thing just happened. Guess I'm not going that way. I'll go this way. If you ever see this video with this guy with his girlfriend's out there beating the holy crap out of his car and she's yelling at him, that's somebody that I'm talking about. It's the Archons. That's somebody who's completely possessed. And this dude is sitting there just eating his food, watching her. And his girlfriend's like, you're not gonna, and she's like, she's taking pause, because this is his ex-girlfriend doing this to him. So she's taking pause on him and he's just sitting there munching his food. Because they told him, hey man, come outside, your girl's backing your car up or whatever. And he just goes out there with his food and just munches it, watching her. She's getting in his face and calling him all these names, and he's just standing there. And she's still beating the crap out of his car, like, because he's not giving her any emotions. And you could see him go, ooh. And his girlfriend's like, what the? And he's all, insurance will cover it. And actually, when his girlfriend looked over and saw he didn't care or whatever, she actually came up onto him and tried to provoke him, and he just kept standing there eating. He'd just back away. And that's when his girlfriend got in, like, no, girl, you're gonna leave. And then she went back. See, that was the one-on-one confrontation. She focused in on him, went right at him. When she realized there was other eyes and other people, she backed off and went back to beating that guy's car up again. Beating her car. Well, I mean, we're all the same, so I mean that sentence does make sense. Then again, it doesn't. Fucking, it's a game. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's who you want to be. Do you want to be the girlfriend beating up the car? And it doesn't matter. Don't put gender roles in it. You know, you don't look at it like that. You know, gender is what we're in this avatar, in the suit we're in right now. It's your energy. It's your positive and negative. And it's not positive as in like good and bad. It's positive and negative like electricity. It's like positive and negative like a magnet. It's male and female in that aspect. So you need to ask yourself, do you want to be the individual beating up the car, completely controlled by their past and just living in this path of destruction? Or do you want to be the dude standing there eating the food going, and go back inside? Choice is yours. Choose wisely. I just had that vision of that dude from Indiana Jones in there, and he's telling him, he chose poorly. Choose wisely. The Holy Grail out of Indiana Jones. What was the I can't think of the name of the movie. Because see, like materialistic things, you just start to, like I could be playing video games all day like I used to. I could be doing stuff like that. Sometimes I do. You know, it's interesting. It's nice to get into this little simulation, but a lot of times I like to just sit outside, because now when I look at outside, I don't see outside the same. I see the interconnection and everything. So yeah, you don't want to be that. Well, no, I don't want to tell you what you do and what you don't want to do. That is not, I'm sorry. I don't have that right. You don't have that right. So you should just, there you go, telling me what to do again. But maybe you should ask yourself, suggestion, see, adding words, frequency. But maybe you should ask yourself, do you want to be that one, that individual that was beating that guy's car up? I'm saying it again, repeating. Or do you want to be the calm? Be the calm. Or don't. That's it. Yeah. I have another thing, but this is just about this right here. This is just about what I did and why I did it. I mean, it's not like she didn't know I was recording her. I had my phone in her face the whole time. And I even told her, you keep crashing out like this and I'm going to put you on blast. I said, you're escalating. You're throwing things at me. I'm going to put you on blast. You didn't see her throw anything at me in those videos. But the tantrum kept going. And don't dog on her. It's not her fault. It is her fault that she allowed herself to be controlled. But once you're fully possessed, you actually don't have any control over your faculties. So it's her fault for allowing herself to become possessed. But it's a it was meant to be done, and I'm guilty of that too. I have a lot of making up to do with people I care about very dearly. But and that's up to them if they do or not. My intentions are good, but that's another video for another time. I think I've ranted about this long enough. I'm going to go drink my coffee, post this, go about what I need to do to move on, to become better. It's sad. I think about this relationship and it's sad. I think about the entirety of it. I think about the wake and the damage and the destruction. And I think about the point to where I'm at right now. And yeah, it's a tragedy. It's a tragic story. But then again, it's not happening right now, so it's just a story. That's all these are. These videos and all this. They're just telling you stories. So, anyways, this is it. I don't even know what I'm going to title this. I just woke up and want to drop some knowledge or something. Maybe that's what I'll title it. I don't know. I might actually title it just because of that. See how things just come into existence? No. Anyways, y'all be good. Y'all take care. No matter what anybody says to you, do not let them burn that light out of your eyes. Do not allow anyone to control you to that point that you are no longer you. You are now subject. Don't lose yourself. Lose yourself. And on the mama feeling. Bring yourself. You're not the perfect control. I don't even know the whole song. it just hit me. Anyways, I'm gonna go have my coffee. I'm gonna go deal with I'm gonna go deal with the world. I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna go deal with. I'm gonna go deal with, and then there was all like, what am I gonna deal with? Which thought made me say that, and where were you going with it? And yeah, y'all be good. Y'all take care. I'm gonna go delete those other videos and post this one right now. So by the time this one posts up, those other ones will be gone. There's plenty of examples of people out there crashing out. So I don't need to make an example out of her. I need that was done for protection. I didn't. Why don't you call me? Why don't you do that? Because in the now, in the moment, weighing everything out, that seemed the logical source. That seemed the less, it was very intrusive, but the less violent and the less life altering, as in damaging your life. Because these videos are going to be gone. Except for this one. Oh, 35 minutes, man. Like I'm saying, dude, it's, you can't explain it all. And I don't have to. If you don't get it, you don't get it. If you do, you do. Anyways, keep smiling, keep up. Like I said, don't let anybody take that sparkle out of your eye. Don't. And if they do, make it your mission to find it. Get that diamond sparkling in your eyes. Hey, I just realized that's happening on the thing. I didn't see that into the cornea of my eyes just now. It's a reflection off my phone. But yeah, I'm talking about that and I just noticed it. See, life is so curious. Like, yeah, that'll be good, man. I don't know what else. I told you I never know how to end these. So I think I need somebody else to like film and set it all up and everything so I can be like, have some structure. But what is structure? Oh, man. The world is great. And you be great. You are great. You are. You are. Whoever's watching this, you are great. That my ex that crashed out, she is great. Wipe the dirt off the diamond and shine. Ta-da! That's it. You just ta-da! Look how shiny I am, dude. I don't know. Peace.